Hey guys, welcome to this new series. I'm so excited for this one. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So, as you may know, this series is called In the Eyes of, or is it From the Eyes of? From the Eyes of. I don't know. I'm gonna Google which one is right before I actually write this. And this series is about looking at things from the eyes of different characters, movie characters, game characters, TV show characters, whatever, like characters. And seeing the world from their perspective, seeing what type of beneficial perspectives, beliefs, thoughts, in which ways do they see the world that could benefit us from seeing the world in that way? What things have they learned that would be beneficial for us to learn? So basically, entertainment means personal development is the vibe right here. I just had this idea last night when I was watching Wednesday on Netflix, and I was like, oh, that would be so fucking fun, like just go into their brains. So in honor of that, today's reading is gonna be about Wednesday Addams. So the questions asked are gonna be just those, like what we just said. What perspectives does Wednesday Addams hold that could benefit us? And what things has she learned that would benefit us to learn? Okay, so let's get started. I have my decks here. I'm gonna start with this blind spot oracle deck, because this is about the things that we don't see, that are more subconscious, that are in our blind spot. So tell us, what is the blind spot? What do we not see about Wednesday Addams and things that she has learned that would be beneficial to us? What are perspectives of Wednesday Addams that could benefit us as a collective? What insights, perspectives, thoughts, things that she has learned that we can learn from? Those two want to come out. Cool. Those, after I shuffled all the cards, we're going to turn them around, but I'm going to read those in the booklet, and then I'll let you know about it. But we're going to flip all the cards over. Then we're going to use this deck, the Cannabis Oracle deck. Actually, I want to do it like this today. Wednesday Addams. Beneficial perspectives that we could adopt. Wednesday Addams. What things has she learned that we could benefit from? What perspectives does she hold that would be beneficial for the rest of us? What things does she hold, perspectives does she hold that would be beneficial to us? What perspectives does she hold that would be beneficial to us? And one more, I think. What perspectives, things has she learned that would be beneficial? She's fire. I actually like her. I like her darkness. I really relate with her darkness. Also, her roommate, like, she's colorful. Like, I feel like I'm a mix of both. Like, I can be incredibly dark and morbid inside and even externally, like outside, but I'm also like this woohoo of color. Okay, let's keep shuffling some cards. I love this. I wish I had black and white cards just to honor her. I'm gonna actually take these. These are a little bit darker in color. I wouldn't say they're morbid or creepy. but they're a little bit darker in color. Let's take 2 of these. What are some views, perspectives that Wednesday Adam holds that would benefit us from adopting? What things does she hold? Too many. I want 2. But this one wants to come out for sure. And this one. Okay, those two. Those 2 are the important ones. Fine. Cool. And then let's have some... I know my mouth is like over here so you don't hear me maybe. But I'm gonna scream. Those. Oh, transformation and joy? That's interesting. Transformation and joy for Wednesday Addams. I want to see how that one plays out. Wednesday Addams. What are perspectives, insights, and knowledge that she holds that we would benefit from knowing, from adopting? What are some views, perspectives that we could adopt and learn from that are beneficial to us? I knew the star was coming out. I don't know why, but I just saw it before I saw it. Like in my head, that's why I took this deck out. What views, perspectives does Wednesday Addams hold that we could benefit from? Those 2, perfect. I want 1 more and then we're done, I think. 1 more for Wednesday Addams. There we go. Thank you. Fire, 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 fire. Okay, I think I'm gonna pull 1 more in the middle, but I don't know from what deck in that case. I don't know from what deck. Actually, let's take this, one of those, like random. What's a beneficial thing we could learn from? Interesting, 9 of Cups. Okay, I'm gonna read those 2. And I'll be back with you with this whole thing. I want to have it like this. So let's get started. This card is called Avoidance, and this one is Meaning. I think we're gonna round it up more and more, but I'll give you just like a short description of how the cards apply to the reading. Well, this one is gonna be coming as we speak because I need to tie it together with other things I'm seeing here, but the Avoidance card was pretty clear for me. Oh, and I'm actually loving this. I'm actually like loving to have such a dark and morbid character that one would be like, oh my gosh, he's just such a freak. But there's so many things here that are really like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. We can learn from that, you know? So yeah, I'm loving that. So avoidance, one of the things that we don't see that Wednesday Addams has that is beneficial, one perspective that she has that is beneficial, one type of perspective, whatever, point of view, is that she does not avoid those things that we usually avoid. Darkness, morbidity, things that are creepy and scary. Like, she doesn't have that reaction of avoidance of those things. The things that we deem or have, you know, we have assigned the meaning of bad to that thing, we avoid it. But she dares to look at it. She doesn't look away from it. She can look at it straight in the eye. And when she can look at it straight in the eye, the darkness, she can look at it for what it is. She's not creating meanings out of those dark things. She's seeing them for what they are because she doesn't avoid it. When we avoid seeing what is for what it is, we start creating stories in our own heads to kind of like complete or fill in the blank spots. But she looks at it straight away, so she sees it. And she can deal with it. And she can get close to it. There's one message here that I'm seeing with, I was looking at this image. And you see this daycare teacher, kindergarten teacher. And she has her shirt dirty. And I'm seeing the hands here. And this is making me think of hands dirty, getting her hands dirty. And then we see this, hands, and with the 5, which talks about challenge, discomfort, and again here another hand, and this knife on that hand. It's making me think of Wednesday Addams is not afraid to get her hands dirty. She's not afraid of doing the thing she feels like she needs to do. It's interesting because it's both in the things that are bad to do, but also in the things that would, like, this looks good. Now, if I take this action, it looks like I'm good on the outside. It looks like I'm doing something nice and kind and and she hates that. Like, internally, she hates that. Like, ugh, do I have to do nice things for people? Ugh. But for her, that's like the ultimate way of getting her hands dirty. And she's not afraid to do that in order to get her goals. She's very goal-oriented. She knows exactly what she wants. Yes, she knows what she wants, She knows what she wants, and she knows how to get her hands dirty in order to get it. She knows that she has to do some things that are not maybe the most comfortable, things that might make her be an outcast of society, but she's used to that. She knows what she wants, and she knows how to find ways to get it. One thing here that is pointed out is that she follows herself. She follows her own lead. She follows her own essence. She follows who she is. It's kind of like she has put her essence, who she is, who she feels like she is, she's put that in the center of her world. She's put that in the center of what's important to her. What's important to her is that she expresses herself the way she authentically feels in that moment. Many of us would not do it because we're afraid of being judged. Oh, actually, I want to read one line of this card. The avoidance card. So these are now in negatives, but we ask the question in a positive sense, right? So everything that it said is not, see it as a yes for Wednesday Addams. So you may not be raising concerns or issues or giving an opinion that is more socially correct than your actual opinion, so as to avoid offending anyone and avoid conflict. Wednesday does not do that. She does really express her opinion and her points of view and her concerns and her issues. Like, she has no fucking problems with it. Most of us do. Why? Because we're afraid to be seen as bad. She's like, I don't fucking care if I'm seen as bad. This is part of my truth. I know what I want. I know who I am. I know how to express myself, how I want to be expressed, at least. And I have no issues to stand up for that. And I don't fucking care what other people think. I'm not making it mean anything about me, what they think of me. You may be living a lie, so you don't have to admit the truth of yourself or to others, or distracting yourself to avoid focusing on anything uncomfortable. So that, but in the opposite. Let us tune. I want to tune into these cards up here. She follows her own, I was gonna say he follows her own joy, but yeah, see, alignment to join, following the path of her joy. But I would say she follows the path of her darkness instead. But in terms that we understand, it would be she follows her joy unapologetically. Here comes the getting her hands dirty again. And since she follows her joy unapologetically, she can express her concerns, her issues, or she can take a stand for herself. And that is what is the hands dirty energy. Like, if something is beneficial for her or someone she deems as important enough in her life, she's not afraid to get her hands dirty because she doesn't care about what other people think of her, as long as she is true to herself. And that is the most important thing to her, to hold herself true to herself. Okay, here's one thing. She knows what she's good at. Like, she doesn't need to humble brag herself. She's like, I'm fucking good at this thing, and I fucking own it. Like, she owns the things that she's a genius at. She owns her essence. She owns the things that make her a star. Most of us, we feel like we need to do the humble brag thing, you know, like, oh, thank you, no, I'm not really so good at this thing. But she's like, I'm a genius, I'm super fucking good at it. Bitches, move the fuck out of my way. So that's one thing that could be really beneficial for us, to actually, you know, start seeing ourselves for our own essence, for the things that we are actually good at for reals, and own that, and almost like show it off, like hold it like a prized possession. Like, motherfuckers, this is what I'm good at. This is what I'm good at. This is what I'm good at. You don't need to put it to the side so it doesn't look like you're being too much of yourself. She doesn't care about being too much of herself. Like, nah, for reals, nah. She's good at what she's good at. She shows it to the world. She owns it to the world. She owns that to herself. She's like, bitches, this is what I'm good at. Okay, that was funny. I like that. I want to see these two together. I kind of feel like there's something about these two together. Let's see. taking matters into her own hands. So this is a little bit different than getting that her hands dirty. This is a little bit different. It's taking matters into her own hands. Like, if there is something that is kind of like, this is alignment, right? So things are flowing right. Things are moving as they should. If there is something off that's not moving right, like there is something, say like, there's a pattern that doesn't fit with the rest of the pattern. There is something wrong. I'm seeing that there is like an investigation, see? Like, say if you're doing like a murder investigation, of course, it's Wednesday. That's why we have those examples coming through. So, imagine that you're doing a murder investigation and there is a clue in the crime scene that does not fit in with the rest of the clues. It's like, okay, we have a storyline here, but this thing does not fit this storyline. It's kind of like out of alignment with what's happening. And here there are things that are out of alignment in the health, right? So imagine if that thing is out of alignment. She's really good at seeing what is out of alignment, or like, oh, there is something off. She trusts her gut on that. Like, okay, I know that there is something off here, and I'm trusting myself to know that there is something off. I trust my gut instinct here. And after that, after she has realized that thing, she is not afraid to take matters into her own hands. That's one of the beautiful things about her. She's like, I see something off. I'm gonna pursue this thing and I'm gonna find out what happened, how this piece fits together. I am gonna be the one that takes this into my own hands, because I see other people are avoiding it. It's too much for other people's brains because they don't know what this thing, how this thing fits into the whole, and like it's uncomfortable for them. So she's like, bitches, this is nothing, okay? Like, sure, it might be dark and whatever, but this is nothing. Like, I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna fix it, like, chill the fuck down, okay? Like, I'm gonna do this. So if there's something off, something wrong, one, she trusts it, she trusts herself. And two, she takes matters into her own hands to make sure that that pattern becomes aligned. Like, the thing that didn't fit the story, she finds in which ways it actually fits the story. Because you gotta do it somehow. If it's there, it's gotta fit. It's only that we don't see how it fits because we're avoiding to look at something. Or we applied a specific meaning to that something, and so we have create a disalignment between the things that we believe that thing to be and what it actually is. She wants to see things for what they actually are. And then, of course, from a morbid perspective. But in this case, she's a brain that can solve really big puzzles. She sees patterns in everything. She sees how things fit together and how they don't, even when it comes to things about herself. She sees the red thread. See, like a little bit like we were talking about here. Like here you see this thread going through all these different patterns, puzzles, places. And she's like good at following the story, like the evidence of what's in front of her. Like here we come with the meaning. Like she follows the evidence that is laid in front of her, and she follows them as clues. And if there is something that is out of the usual of the storyline, she looks at it and she finds other pieces of evidence that makes it fit the story, but she's not making it fit the story she has created in her head. No, she's looking at those things from an objective perspective so that she can see the truth of how it really fits, not what she thinks, or that she's creating it to fit in a way. She doesn't take that piece of evidence and shape it and mold it in order to fit what the other things she has. She just sees how different they are, and she finds what's between this space and that space for it to come together. There is a bridge. She knows there is a bridge between A and B, but she's not creating her own bridge to that. She's finding the bridge in a sea of evidence, in a sea of patterns. She knows that if she doesn't see how they fit together, it means that there is more evidence that she hasn't found yet. That's like a fantastic perspective point of view. Why? Because here's the thing. We humans in our regular world, when we move and throughout our lives and our days, we see different things happen in our lives. We have conversations with people, we have arguments, we do something and it feels inside of us, and we create meaning. So if someone at work says that, oh, you made a mistake there, we are making it mean that we are bad. We're making it mean that we are not enough. We're making it mean that that person is a bitch. We make it mean so many different things. But are those subjectively true? If you made a mistake, is it objectively true that you're stupid, bad, and blah, 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 those things? Is it objectively true that that other person is a bitch? If we're looking at this energy from this point of like evidence point of view, you could first look at, did you actually make a mistake? Yes or no, without trying to avoid the truth. Yes, okay. So if that is the case, what is the meaning you're applying to that situation? What meaning are you applying to avoid the truth of the situation? How are you making it fit? How are you making that situation fit the meaning you've applied to your workplace in general, to your own sense of self in general? Can you be objective about that situation or not? That's one of the things that we learn from Wednesday, especially when she does her investigation things, you know? She has a very objective way of seeing the evidence that she gathers. And while this is speaking about more like, you know, this is actually like if it was to be like murder investigation, if it was to be like a game she's playing or stuff like that, but we can apply this into our lives the way I just talked about it. Wow, this was firebomb. When I was a kid, I wanted to become a detective, a murder investigator. So I'm really digging this. This energy is fire, and I guess this is one of, like, me wanting to be that is one of the reasons I do tarot, because it kind of feels like an investigation, you know. So okay, let's go into these here. She follows her own impulse. She has her own drum. She follows the beat to her own drum. Like, I'm kind of like seeing this image of an orchestra. and they are playing like, or like a drumming, like a marching band. Actually, it's more than an orchestra. That's what I'm seeing, a marching band, you know, the beat of her own drum. So they're like playing a cohesive way. They're playing something, and she's like, nah, I don't like that song, I'm gonna play my own song. And she's like, she doesn't care if they're like 10,000s of the other marching bands. She's like, this is how I want to play it, and I'm even gonna go stand like on a fucking, I'm gonna like push down a statue and stand in that place because I want the attention, because I know I'm much better than all of them. Owning her gift, you know. She knows who she is, and she is not afraid to show it. I'm sexy and I know it. So I'm smart and I know it. I'm talented and I know it. I'm very fucking good at this thing and I know it. And I'm not afraid to show it. That's the vibe with these cards. Like, I'm not afraid to show it. I own it. I'm not afraid to show. Oh, stars here and the start. I'm gonna see, like, yeah, that's the vibe of these things. I think we have a little bit more to get into here. I'm curious about this transformation card. Does it apply to everything else here? Let's see. Yeah, again, I'm not afraid to show it. I'm not afraid to show it. I'm not afraid to show it. Why is she not afraid to show it? Because she sees that in herself first. She sees that in herself first. To start looking at the ways in which you are actually good at certain things. Like, in what places do you feel like you have to tone yourself down so that you don't take too much space or too much of a spotlight or become too much the center of attention? Where do you hold yourself back? Where do you do the humble bragging thing, you know? Maybe that's your place to start shining more. It's interesting because with this transformation card, what I saw was more like adaptability. I kind of saw like an image of like her walking down a road and she's like completely, you know, like it's straightforward. I kind of know it's just straight. But they come to a point in which, you know, ooh, some new information came in. Something new, you know, happened in that dot, okay? And she's not afraid to transform, change her mind, adapt her plan to new information and like, okay, I'm just gonna like, I gained this new awareness, I'm turning right. Instead of going straight, I'm turning right. Like, she's not afraid to change that. She's not afraid to transform, change her mind, change the way she thinks about something when something new appears. See, that comes the objective type of thinking. Like, just because something new came in that she wasn't aware of when she was here, it doesn't mean she's stupid. She's not making it mean something about her. It's just the process of, you know, following the red thread. As she follows the red thread, something new comes forth. And she learns something from it. And from that new information, there is a new way to take. She can transform and change her mind based on the evidence that comes up. And she's not making it mean something about her. And that's why she can follow her gut. That's why she can follow the path. That's why she can follow the evidence. That's why she can own herself, because she's not making things mean something about her. What if she walked to this point and she realized something new information came forth, and she's like, oh my fucking God, does that mean that I was wrong all the time? I must be stupid. So what if I'm wrong about this new thing and I go there and I'm forever wrong and I'm taking the wrong turn? and everything goes to hell. Oh my God, the whole world would look at me and think I'm stupid. Wait. Let's retrace our tracks. Let's go there. And then I realized this. Oh my God, how could I just miss this? I'm so stupid. I must be blind. If the whole world knows that I missed that, they would say that I am a... See how, like, those are things that many of us maybe would think about ourselves subconsciously or consciously. And at this point, we would start going in circles because we wouldn't know if to trust ourselves, if the evidence is true. Are we fucking stupid? So what are we even doing here? She's not applying meaning to any of those things. She's just seeing the evidence for what it is. She's following what is in front of her without making things up about it. And if she doesn't know the full story, if there is a misalignment, she doesn't see how that thing fits into the story, she starts zooming out and trying to see things from a bigger picture so that she can see how it fits in without her filter of meaning. External things don't mean things about her. And when new information comes up, she's not afraid to redirect. She's not afraid to change her mind. She's not afraid to, change her mind. She knows that that information wasn't available to her first, and now she has it. Great, now I know more. It's not like she's stupid because she didn't have it. Of course these two are connected. See how these two are connected? Now I understand. We see the hands here, so I just kind of want to tune into the cards that have hands and see if we get any more messages about the hands dirty. Ooh. Are those? I don't know if those are not butterflies. I think those are like, I don't know. But I was like, wait. Caterpillar to butterfly. We can look into these first. This was funny because I just saw like her walking down like a flower field of white flowers. And it was like almost like it's like I was the one stopping to smell the flowers, and she's like looking at me like dead in the eye. She's like, how the fuck? And I was like, smell one, and she's like looking at me with like the death stare. So yeah, those white flowers. That was a funny scene in my head. What is this stupidity? I'm kind of feeling... So I'm seeing this scene again, you know, the flower fields. And there's like mountains around and everything is beautiful. The sun is shining. And like she's standing there like looking at me like what the fuck, or like dead in the whole thing when I'm smelling my flowers. And suddenly a storm comes on and it just like starts raining a lot, and she doesn't like even flinch. She doesn't like change her facials, like her facial expression doesn't change, and it's like pouring. That is again giving me that, you know, like first the adaptability energy. Like she can really adapt to the situation without having it be something bad. Like it rains, most of us are freaking out. We're gonna get wet. This is gonna happen. We need to go away. She's like, I have my goal in mind. I adapt to the circumstances of what's happening without making it mean it's just fucking rain. Let's go. Adapt to the situation and move towards it. I mean, while she has very pessimistic points of view, like she does not stop and enjoy the journey. For example, I do. If we were together, I would stop and smell the flowers. She would be like, you're slowing me down. Oh, that would be so cool. How would an interaction between me and her be like? Yeah, so I'm seeing that scene with the mountains again. And she's kind of just like walking, and I'm like, fine, I'll follow you. And it's like, for me, it's a drag. For her, it's like, she's doing what she needs to do. She is getting her hands dirty. She's taking matters into her own hands without complaining about it. Because she has like a bigger goal. She has a bigger vision. Yeah, she has a bigger vision. She's good at looking things from top view, okay? From an objective perspective. She's not like in it. She's like a little bit outside of it. She's not always putting herself in the dough of the situation. She's looking at it a little bit from outside, from above. That's why he's doing it, so that she can see things objectively, and so that she can, because when we're inside the dough, we apply meaning to it, okay? When we're inside the situation in our own perspective, when we're attached to the situation, we attach meaning to it. But when we step back, when we take a step back from it, we can see it from a new set of eyes. Instead of from seeing it from inside, we're seeing it from outside. And now we're seeing something new. And that's what she does. She looks at it from outside instead of from inside. And so she can see it objectively. She's not part of it, she's outside of it, so she sees this object objectively. She's not it. She's outside of it, and she sees it objectively. Okay, we're gonna pull some cards to find some ways in which we can apply these things into our lives. Let's make it practical. So now we've learned a little bit of like the things, the actual things. Now let's learn how we can apply it to our lives. How can we apply practically? Can we get the how to apply these beneficial perspectives into our lives? How can we apply these perspectives into our lives? I actually want to move these. I don't like having them underneath. Strength. This is a strength card in reverse. Now we have it upright. The Empress. How can we apply this? Oh, the Emperor, both in reverse. So basically they're like wifey and hubby. How can we apply these learnings from Wednesday practically in our lives? There we go. Let me tune into them and let's see what comes out, okay? You must first know yourself. You must first stop avoiding to look inside of yourself. Because unless you do that, nothing of anything else will be tangible to you. You can't make it tangible. You cannot believe in yourself if you don't know yourself, if you avoid looking at yourself. You can't follow the beat of your own drum if you don't know yourself, if you don't look at yourself, if you don't start doing some introspection on the things that you value. If you don't know what you really want, if you don't know who you really are, then you're gonna let the external world define that for you. So you need to start getting to know who you truly are in order to start following the beat of your own drum. Like, how the fuck are you gonna follow? See the music here? How the fuck are you gonna follow the beat of your own drum if you don't even know what it sounds like? You need to start listening internally. Like, close your eyes and look at the world that lives inside of you. When you start looking inside, introspection, see, close your eyes and look at the world inside. Close your eyes and see the things that come up as you focus on the things inside. Start looking at what those things inside of you are reflecting to you. What are your dreams? What are your wants? What are your desires? What are your thoughts? What meanings have you created of yourself right now? And where do those meanings come from? Start creating a list of things that you are very motherfucking good at. What are your strengths? Start, like, she's really good at owning the things that she's good at, right? So start looking at the things, yeah, see, things that she's good at, the pyramids there and the strength card. I love this so much. I lost myself a second there. Yeah. You could write a list of your strengths. You can notice when you're doing things well, and instead of humble bragging it away, start looking at it for what it is. Start owning yourself. There's a pyramid in there too. See how all of these are like connected, and the patterns here and the patterns there. Goodness, I love it. I love this. Mastery. This is also about mastery. This is the King of Wands. It's about mastering a passion. In which ways are you a master of the things you're passionate about? You don't need to be the ultimate master of the whole fucking world in order to be actually good at it. What things about your passions have you mastered? Start admitting themselves to you. And when you admit them, how does it feel inside of you? How do you feel about it? That's also part of the introspection. What are you making it mean about you when you actually own up to the things you're good at? I kind of see like this image of like layers. So there are many layers right now, like in top of you. Like, see, the essence of who you are is the core, okay? And think about like they're like an onion, I guess, or like something with layers. It's making me think of Shrek. I don't remember. I don't know how they say it in English, in the English movie, but in the Spanish movie, translated, he goes like, orange? Are they called orange? No. Shreks don't. Los ogros tienen capas. Las tartas no tienen capas. I don't know. Like, it was like something like, we're like onions. Onions have layers. Shreks, they have layers too. And Donkey goes like, oh, like a cake. A cake has layers too. And he's like, no, we're not like cakes. We're like onions. So kind of see it as like, right now, your core essence is the middle of an onion. And there's been so many things that are on top of this, the core essence of the onion, that has made it so that you're hiding that from yourself and from the world, because maybe in the past they've been judged as wrong, or you've been corrected to do something differently. And that is what's creating certain meanings about yourself. Maybe you've learned that it's if you own yourself, the good things about yourself, you're bragging. You are snobby. You think yourself to be better than everybody else, and that makes you bad. Stuff like that. So you have lots of layers and beliefs right now that is preventing you from actually expressing your true essence. But with introspection and actually starting to look at what those things are, you can dismantle those and open up to your true essence and allow that to be expressed. I think that we are ready with this reading. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy this type of reading. And if you have any suggestions of what characters you like to go into and see their brains and see what you can learn about them, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for being here. Mwah!